Happy Halloween, my friends. It's going to be October pretty soon, so by the time this video is out, it'll probably be October. Anyway, I need your help. I'm going to, oh, by the way, I'm Pittsburgh Pat, also known as Dr. Dragon, and I run an adventure league. I'm a DM for Adventure League. So I have an idea. I ran this partially through my 10-year-old students, but this is going to be for all ages, and it's going to be for tier 2. So I need your help. I need monsters, I think, for this one. I'll tell you what I've got so far. So I'm going to run this in 2 days. This is the wedding of Tan Polo and Princess Playa Piano. This does not violate any copyrights. Totally made up characters. Totally. No violation. You are cordially invited to their wedding, as are the elite of the galaxy. But no, the ornate ceremony is rudely interrupted by the evil Imperial Scorn Troopers. Get it? Scorn Troopers. Their onslaught of vicious mockery is brutal and frankly very bad form. How will you help the star-crossed lovers escape? And that's the setup. So basically, it's a sort of an interpretation of a couple different scenarios. Kelvin, and which is a module, an eventually module from season 6. I think that's so it's a little bit of both. It's not real. It sort of is. There's puzzles, let's put it that way. So okay, so scene 1 is going to be like you're at the wedding. If you're the player character, you're at the wedding. You see the guests of the bridal couple up there, and you're mingling with the guests, right? So I have all these opportunities to present interesting plays on words of famous characters that you might know from some particular intellectual property, which shall not be named for violation of copyright reasons. And so I think that could be really fun. Also, if I use Spelljammer characters, like I could have the robots be like auto gnomes. I could have Tan Polo be a space pirate. I can have Princess Playa Piano be a space elf, right? So I could fit it in with that scenario if I want to, and they're actually kind of listing it as a Spelljammer kind of twist. Module. Anyway, so that'll be one. So you'll be able to intrigue with the different factions. And so the players can do like insight checks, they can do perception checks, they can walk around the room, look for exits, look for doors, look for things like that if they choose to. They can talk with people and kind of get like intelligence and ideas about like. So what I want to do is the setting is in the hall where like the end of A New Hope. Oh, I just gave it away. Was where they got the medals was so it's like that, but it's built on top of a temple, right? A temple to the Force, and maybe both sides of the Force. So there's going to be puzzles that have to do with that later. So maybe somebody will tell them those kinds of stories if they take enough time to do that. If they don't, then boom, the Scorn Troopers are going to come in and they're going to disrupt the wedding, right? They're going to hurl insults and then laser fire. And so the players are going to have to shoot their way out, but they may be overwhelmed and then they'll have to find a way out. So Princess Playa is going to, take Tan Polo's blaster and blast a hole in the wall and say, "Into the garbage chute, flyboy." And they're going to, and everybody's, they and the party are going to go down into the depths of this former temple. And even Princess Playa and Tan Polo don't know that that's what, the hall was built on. They knew something, but they've never been down there. So they'll be there to kind of help the actual PCs in case they get stuck with any of these puzzles. So they're going to escape into the Force Temple, and then the first puzzle is going to be the puzzle of darkness. And so what I'm thinking is that they're going to be in a room with some light sources. So we'll have some cave fungus or something like that emitting light, and then there'll be a saying that says something like, "Walk in darkness and be saved." Right. So the door on the opposite end of the room has a little bit of light coming through it. So the door has a glyph of warning, a glyph of protection. Wait, glyph of warning, glyph of warding on top of it. That's the word I was looking for. And so if they just go over and open the door, boom, it's going to explode. It's going to cause them a lot of damage, but they'll get through. If they don't, then if they get the clue, they realize they have to make the room totally dark in order for them to pass through the opposite door safely. So they'll have to plug up the holes in the door at first. They'll have to either cast a darkness spell, or they can somehow cover up the fungus or kill the fungus in order to stop the light from coming through. And once they have total darkness, they'll be able to pass through. So the second puzzle is going to be a puzzle of light. And what I am going to have is a door that has 3 holes in it. And it will say something like, something about light. I'm thinking like, you guys can help me with this, but I'm thinking like basically light is the key, or something about, yeah, something like that. But basically the way you solve the puzzle in the door is you have to shine light into all 3 holes. So they can use lightsabers or glowing swords, or they can cast light spells on each of those, or they can have a light source they can shine in there. But all 3 have to be lit at the same time, and then that door will open. So I need a good like clue for that. The next one is going to be a meditation chamber with a lever in the middle. And the lever is going to say, enjoy a minute of meditation. And so if they pull the lever, assuming that it's going to open the door on the far end of the room, magical numbers will appear and they'll start to count down. And I'll have them in Arabish so that somebody will have to do an inside check, and then they'll have to be able to interpret them. But it definitely will look like a countdown. And as that counts down, ooze will come out. So I need to decide what ooze it's going to be. Is it like black pudding? Is it, I mean, what kind of green ooze comes down the wall? And if they pull the lever before the countdown is over, the numbers restart, but the ooze keeps coming toward them. So the key is to do nothing, is to have a minute of meditation and just be calm for a minute. So if they're calm, the door opens. But if they keep pulling the lever, it keeps resetting, and the ooze gets faster. It gets closer and closer. So they either have to battle the ooze back, or they'll take damage from the ooze until they wait, until the clock runs out. So I have a feeling that might be tough. So I may give them some clues on that one. And then they'll escape through to their ship, but the ship is guarded. So surrounded by troopers. So they will have the option to stealth in order to get to the ship, or they'll have to fight. And then maybe there's a tractor beam they have to kind of worry about. So they're like, wait a minute. It depends on how much time has elapsed. If they get stuck on the lever puzzle, then some time will have elapsed. If they breeze through all 3 of those puzzles, then I'll add another side mission where they have to disable a tractor beam before they take off, or they're not going to be able to get anywhere. Just like in a movie we once saw. And so, so they can do that. And then they'll get to the ship either fighting or guard or stealthy. And then there might be a puzzle. They could have a puzzle on the ship. Maybe there's something that prevents them from going to hyperspace, and they can solve that. There'll be a dogfight, so they can all get into different stations, so they can fight. Here's the thing: they may be able to fight the scorn troopers, and then, or should I have them fight something in the caves too? Or is that too many combats? So you have the initial combat, the combat around the ship possibly, and then they'll have a ship combat, which will be different. And then, and then they'll get captured. So no matter what they do, they're going to get captured. But at the end, they're going to get captured. And what's going to happen is Dark Father is going to be there in his kind of suit, his breathing apparatus, and he's going to say, "Look, you guys didn't invite me to a wedding, and I just want to give you a wedding present." And so that's going to be the resolve, and it's going to be like kind of funny. And at the time, they'll say something like, "And by the way, you Tam Polo tried to shoot me at the rehearsal dinner. Hank would on it, so that will have presumably been the rehearsal dinner." Okay. So that's my rough outline. What do you guys think? If you have any suggestions, I'd appreciate it. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Smash a like helps me, of course. And if you want to see more like this, let me know in the comments. And subscriptions are awesome. Have a great day. And happy DMing out there. May the force be with you.